welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are talking about some meh makeup. So these are products that are just okay. Sometimes I feel like I try products and they don't really belong in the favorites category, but they also don't belong in the disappointing category. They're just kind of in the middle. I do these every once in a while when my bin over here gets a good amount of products in it. So if you want to see what products I think are just okay, then just keep watching. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with some face things because I have actually quite a bit in here. So some of these are not products that are all around awful like I was saying in the intro, but maybe like a lot of these foundations, I think they're okay. They just didn't work for my personal skin type. There's two of them actually that I think are good in some respects, but for my skin type, I have oily skin, so and I have a lot of kind of breakouts. I have one right here that's like a mother right now that I had to like really kind of conceal. But anyway, so I feel like I need a certain kind of foundation, and while these worked, like maybe coverage wise or finish wise, they didn't just perform perfectly for my specific skin type, but maybe with someone who doesn't have as much to cover or has drier skin, they would work. So those products are two foundations up from the drugstore, and this is the Makeup Revolution Fast Based Stick Foundation. The reason that this is in this video is because I really enjoy the coverage of this product. It has a lot of coverage, as you guys can see on my hand right there. Like swiping back and forth, there's a lot of coverage in there. And even when I blend it out, like it's right there. Like it covers, you know? And I really like the consistency of this. It's really nice and creamy when it goes on, but it does not wear well on my oily skin at all. I think if you have dry skin to normal skin and you like more of like a dewy finish, you would like this just because it's such a creamy product. And I like that creamy product when I have to blend it out, but I wanted to set down to a natural matte finish, and this just doesn't do that. But the coverage is nice. So that's why this is in this video, just because I like it, but just not for my skin type. Another foundation I liked the coverage of was the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Luminous Makeup All Day Wear Foundation. So this is really raved about, and honestly it has really good coverage for a luminous finish foundation. I feel like usually with luminous finish foundations you kind of have to sacrifice some of the coverage, and with this one you don't have to, which I like. I like the idea of this. I like the packaging of this. It has a pump. I think the shade range is pretty good. You can find it at Ulta, you know, like I like all of that stuff. But just for my oily skin, it just makes me look way too dewy, and I have to blot too many times throughout the day, and I have to powder so much, and it's just way too high maintenance for me. But I think if you have dry skin, or maybe you have aging skin but you're still struggling with some breakouts, this would be really good for you. Like I said, just for my oily skin, it was just not for me, but the coverage is good on this. Alright, a foundation that I just didn't like. I don't care if you are like dry skin, oily skin, I did not like the way this wore. This is the BH Cosmetics BH Liquid Foundation Naturally Flawless, and I do have the shade, I don't know, it doesn't have the shade on here, so I don't know what shade this was, but it comes with a pump. I found mine at Ulta. I just don't love this. It kind of settles and it breaks apart on the skin. The coverage is good, but then it just does not wear well at all. Immediately it starts to like settle and break apart and look kind of patchy. So while the coverage is good, I just think that overall this foundation doesn't sit on the skin well. And it, like I said, it's immediately. Whereas with these two, it's just like throughout the day, I don't like the way they wear on my oily skin. This, it's like immediately patchy and settling and kind of just making your skin almost look worse. So I would just totally skip out on that. The coverage is good, but overall it's just not, I just think it's a meh. It's just, I mean, try it. Okay, maybe it won't do that for everyone. I don't know, but on me, it just really started to break up and settle, and I just did not like the way it wore at all. It wore really patchy. Okay, so the next product is this No Pore Blem Primer from the brand Touch in Sol. You can find this at Sephora. I think it's under 20 bucks. I just didn't see a huge difference. Like, it was fine, you know? Like, sure, okay, it was a primer. It maybe filled in a little bit, but not as much as like my NYX pore filler. and this is I think around 13 bucks and this is I think around 18. So while it's not like a huge difference, this is still cheaper, but overall this just works better. This actually blurs the pores, you know, and this one just, I was kind of like, okay, it's maybe doing a little something, but nothing that I really notice. Whereas with this, I like really notice. So I think overall there's just better out there. This isn't terrible, it's just meh. Okay, a couple eye things to talk about. This is the CoverGirl Peacock Flare Waterproof Mascara. They sent this to me actually. And the wand is like kind of weird looking. I don't know if you guys can even really see. It's kind of like, it's kind of odd. This made my lashes separate, but it didn't really do much for volume. Personally, I like a drier formula mascara. I like something that builds and makes my lashes almost look clumpy. I just love a really nice full lash, and I have mascaras from the drugstore. My Essence one that I love the Lash Warrior from Flower, I love the Maybelline Total Temptation one. That just gives me like really full lashes, where this one doesn't really. So if you're someone who you want a more natural lash, or maybe you need a lot of separation, then this might be good for you. But for me, it just is not the kind of mascara that I like. Okay, this next thing is actually an eyeshadow palette, and this is new from L'Oreal, and this is the Paradise Enchanted Scented Eyeshadow Palette. So it's fruit scented. It kind of smells like peaches. This is just okay. The shimmers are a little flaky, a little just powdery. The mattes are okay, not overly pigmented or blendable. Like, they're blendable, but they kind of just blend away. They're not something that really is gonna stick on the eye. And so for that reason, it's just kind of like, there's better eyeshadow palettes out there, especially now at the drugstore. You know, I recently, well not recently, it was probably, I don't know, a couple months ago now, I did a video of like my top 10 eyeshadow palettes under $10. I'll link that for you guys if you want to check out some alternatives, because this is just not great. You know, yes, it's that like peachy color palette that everyone's doing now, but it's just, there's better formulas out there, especially the shimmers. I was really disappointed with those. They're just really flaky. So while this isn't like so unwearable, like, oh my gosh, not usable, it's just like, why buy this when you can definitely get something better? Okay, oops, I forgot a face thing. So this is the Essence Color Correcting Liquid Concealer in Wake Up Effect. So this is a like peachy toned concealer. It looks like that. This is almost like a little too bright for my skin tone, and I'm pretty fair. It just kind of brightens up my dark circles, doesn't necessarily correct them, and it's such a thin formula that the coverage is just not there for me. You know, I feel like when you have a corrector, you want something that's a little bit deeper, that's a little more like thick and emollient to really correct those dark circles, where this, it's like too light and it's too liquidy and watery that it just does not do anything, and it creases a lot. I think because it's so thin, it just like really just bleeds everywhere when you use it. So it bleeds into all your fine lines under your eyes really quickly, and it's just, even when I used it just down here to kind of brighten up, it was just a little streaky because it's such a thin formula. So again, there's just better out there, so I don't think you really need to spend the money on this. Even though it's inexpensive, I would still buy like the Maybelline Age Rewind brightener, the shade brightener. That one is really comparable to that, but a better formula. I also, let's see here, what other brightening? For corrector wise, I love my Pixie Brightening Peach. I think that's a really nice peach corrector. The Maybelline Fit Me is a really good drugstore concealer, so there's just a lot better out there than that one. Alright, last but not least, this is a lip product from Revlon. This is their Kiss Plumping Lip Cream. I know a lot of people love these, and I didn't really want to buy these at first, but some of you told me they don't like tingle or anything like that. I'm sorry, I love you guys, whoever told me that, but you're liars. This tingles on my lips and it burns, and I don't like minty plumping kind of lip products. And I also don't love that it's a plastic applicator. That's just kind of old school to me, and it doesn't make for the best application. This is the shade Velvet Mink, and while it's a gorgeous shade, like I said, I don't like the plastic applicator. It's just, it doesn't make for a really nice, precise application. And this does tingle and smell minty and give you that like plumping feeling, which I'm just not a fan of. So I would just recommend getting like a typical Revlon gloss if you're someone who wants that like nice glossy finish, but you don't want that burning sensation. I know some people like it, I just am not into it, so that's why I'm just kind of like a meh product. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Again, these products are not 100% terrible. It's just that there's better out there that I think you could get for the money, or maybe they just don't work for my personal skin type. The overall like worst product that I would say that's in here, that's bordering the line between meh and disappointing, would be this BH Cosmetic foundation. Like I said, it just kind of settles and it doesn't really do well on my skin. So maybe that's just a my skin thing, I don't know. But overall, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in my next one.